Aloha! Honolulu Data here with episode 24 of the Honolulu Huskies Custom Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode here in the second half of the 2027-2028 regular season, year number 9. Now we are killing it through the first half of the season. We have a record of 45, 9, and 3. Our players are just going off the walls. They're just putting the puck in the back of the net without a care in the world. Many players at, around, or above a point per game this season. 50 plus points for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players through 57 games. Now after that it starts to drop off a little bit in the bottom 6, and that's where we had some questions about the bottom 6, but the plus minuses are looking pretty good. So especially with those fourth line changes that we made to get guys like Redden and Miller out of there and bring in Vorobyev and where is he? Berggren right here. So we've been looking at that. We said that our goalie is doing very well. We're glad that we stuck with Ilya Samsonov, but now our question for the rest of the season moves to contracts and trades for looking to the future as well, because on this team we have a bit of a problem at the defensive position due to Oscar Yanson and Malachi Giftopoulos. Oscar Yanson, he's 22 years old, 85 overall, two-way D, doesn't really fit the lines that great, but he has the medium league potential. He was a 6th overall pick in 2024. He's a very good defenseman. He's just going to keep growing. He's not much of a point guy, but he has a very solid plus minus. He's a plus 65 through 2.5 seasons, so I really can't complain about Oscar Yanson. However, he is running out of a contract, and he's going to want something like 6-7 plus million, and I'm not sure what we're going to do there, and he doesn't want the extension. Ty Smith as well. I'm a bit surprised about Ty Smith because he's only scored, usually he scores 40-50 points. He's at 13 points through 57 games. However, the plus minus is at 15, so I guess I can't complain much. Then on the bottom pairs here, Kyle Wood is pretty much taking over Pavel Kovalev's spot. I really truly love Pavel Kovalev so much. He was a 16th overall pick in 2020. He's been on this team for years now. He's 25 years old. He's been here since he was a rookie. From 2020 to 2028, he's been in the organization. He's still signed for 6 more years at $2.6 million, but do I want to take that money and use it on a better defenseman since he doesn't seem to be growing beyond 81 overall? JT Miller we're looking to trade, etc., etc. So I stopped last episode halfway through the season because I needed to hear from all of you. Let's start going through those comments, starting with Louis Mallard. He says, I would go for a solid top 4 veteran defenseman like either Hughes, Fabro, or even Hedman. Still adds elite potential, but check their contract first. Also, I'd reach for Devon Shore with Chicago. He would be a great depth forward for injury reserve if you have a playoff run and he's on a super cheap contract. So Shore we'll look into, but Quinn Hughes, we were looking at him and seeing if just because he's on the block in Carolina, should we go for him? Now this is a bit of a predicament that we had with Cale Makar. I could have gotten Cale Makar a couple years ago, but I said there's no room for Cale Makar and I can't be paying him $10 million. But this is what I'm thinking about Quinn Hughes. He's making 10.7. That's way too much. But well, actually it's pretty fair for him, but it's too much for us. But he hasn't had the greatest last couple of years. If we could get him, sign him cheap, and then get him to score 70, 80 points a season, that would be crazy. But it would be, he doesn't fit any of our coaches' lines. That's the problem. But does it really matter when you're that good? I don't know. Quinn Hughes, man. Because if I can get him, let's say he doesn't extend his contract, it's still a great piece to have for the rest of the season here on our cup run. If he doesn't re-sign and he goes to UFA, that's rough, but it wouldn't be the worst thing to trade for him because I could easily trade Oscar Yanson and like a 3rd round pick or something to get him. Or I could even trade Malachi Giftopoulos. We're saying trade Pavel Kovalev so that Giftopoulos could come up, but to be honest, his trade value continues to drop. He's 23 years old, 80 overall. I don't know, is it just because he hasn't gotten the opportunity, or is it because he's just not going to grow? I think it's because of the opportunity. I don't like that he has 2.5-star shooting, 3.5-star defense. I'd probably rather make him into a defensive defenseman, 5'11". The more I think about it, the more I think maybe I'll trade Malachi Giftopoulos, keep Oscar Yanson, but then that's too many good defensemen. If I bring Quinn Hughes in, that means I have Junior playing with on the 3rd pair with an 85 overall in Oscar Yanson or Ty Smith. So I can't really do that. Although I am open to trading Malachi Giftopoulos. I'm open to trading Giftopoulos. I'm open to trading Kovalev. I'm open to trading Yansen. I'm open to trading a lot of people. So I'll keep that in mind. Also Devon Shore. But let's look at the other comments here. Michael Sylvia mentioned about the Cole Perfetti situation. He says, I've always liked Stützle. And then he goes on to leave another comment talking about how he's had Stützle go up to high 80s, low 90s. He does do quite well stat-wise. And it would be good if I would check if he fits in the penalty kill and power play, etc. So let me go over to Colorado here. Does Tim Stützle fit in those lines? He's not on their trade block, but he has like no trade value at all. If I were to get Tim Stützle, he does not fit any of the lines 3 bars accurate. So I'm more inclined to keep Cole Perfetti if I can get him for under $5 million. That plays in to Jirka Halby's comment where he said, honestly, I would keep Perfetti. $5 million isn't a lot for 85 overall. Maybe try to flip Yanson and Miller for Hughes if it's okay with the cap space. That's what I would do in your position. And I have a request. Could you please show the stats of the guy with the hardest shot in the world, Martin Furk? He just saw, he has an $8 million something deal, and I wonder what got him there. Thank you, and looking forward to the second part of the season. Thank you so much for the comment. Always very involved. Going over to Carolina, Martin Furk. Now, he is an 84 overall sniper, I think. Where is he, Martin Furk? Oh, he's up here. Oh, it has a lot of trade value. Yeah. He's 34 years old, 84 overall, making $8.185 million for another 3 years. I've never seen Martin Furk get paid like that in a franchise mode. What did he do last season and seasons before? Oh my goodness. He's coming off back-to-back 73-point seasons. That's why he got paid so much money. He must be playing first line with Derek Mongo. But this season, 29 and 55, still pretty solid. That is a huge contract for Martin Furk. So there you go, Jirka. Cole Perfetti will take care of in a second. Reese Garut leaves a comment about Giftopoulos. He says, you could try changing Giftopoulos to a defensive defenseman. He has 4.5-star defense, so it's not that big of a reach. Swap him with Kovalev because Giftopoulos has the higher potential. You could wait till the trade deadline and trade Kovalev when he might be worth a good bit because of his contract and performance. And then another comment regarding the coach. He said, try and keep your coach. He's only 47 years old, so he can grow with the youth of your team, assuming they fit his stats. That's a fair point as well. So I think I won't make any coaching changes, but I'm really torn as the 3 questions of this episode are, do we trade for Quinn Hughes? Do we trade Oscar Yanson? And what do we do with Malachi Giftopoulos? So right off the bat, if I were to get Quinn Hughes, it would cost something like Oscar Yanson. Am I willing to trade Oscar Yanson, 85 overall, 22 years old? That would be a hard pill to swallow, but we do have good defensemen in the system. Because I could just trade Giftopoulos and a little bit more, and I get to keep Oscar Yanson, but then I'm not going to be able to sign him really next season. I need to think about the cap as well, because Malachi Giftopoulos, he still has another year on his entry-level deal. I can call him up next season. Maybe I trade Pavel Kovalev right now. Giftopoulos finishes off the year in the NHL, something like that. So I think I'm going to try and trade Oscar Yanson here. Yanson, there's no reason really to trade him. I could sign him, and he's a great defenseman. But Quinn Hughes, man, he is so good. And if I could get him cheap, if I could re-sign Quinn Hughes for like $9 million for 7 years, that would be an absolute steal. This guy is a Norris Trophy winner. So Oscar Yanson, that really hurts to trade him. We were really high on him. But if I could trade him and let's say a 3rd round pick, what do I have here? I have 2 3rd-round picks, yeah. So Oscar Yanson and a 3rd-round pick straight up for Quinn Hughes, and we try to re-sign him, we try to re-sign Cole Perfetti, then maybe we trade Pavel Kovalev. What do you say, Carolina? Trade accepted. Oh my goodness. Trade accepted. When someone's on the block, it changes everything. Oscar Yanson, I wish you all the best in your career. It was going to be hard for you to really grow with so many big pieces. Quinn Hughes is already a big boy, and boy, let's just put him in the lineup. It won't be permanent. I'm just going to slot him in quickly. I'm not going to change up the lines just yet. I still have to figure it all out. But Quinn Hughes in the second pair gives it a 0 with Ty Smith. He doesn't really fit the lineup, I don't think. No, he would fit the first pair. If he played the first pair, it would still only be a +3. He has a check mark and an X. See, that's not that good, really. Could I play anyone with him to give? No. Best I get out of Hughes is a +3. So, yeah, he doesn't really fit, but he's so good. That's the thing. He's just so good. But we'll come back to that after. What I want to see now is, can I get him extended? Does he want an extension? If he wants an extension, that would be big. He does want an extension. What does he want? What does he want? 8.5. Hold on. We got to play 85% rule here. 8.575 times 85%, that's 7.288. Are you telling me that I can re-sign Quinn Hughes for 5 years at 7.3 million? If I go up, it gets too high. But are you telling me I can go 5 years, 7.3? Because I'm going to do that right now. 5 years, $7.3 million. Offer contract extension. That is crazy. Hold on, while I'm at it, that still leaves me with, if I have 14.1 minus 7.3, that leaves me with like 6.8. Cole Perfetti, the cheapest he goes is 7 years at 5.575. I could go 5 years, but 7 years would be cheap. No, 5 years would be cheaper, but 7 years would be nice to get him signed a little bit longer at 7 years. So 5.575 times 85%, that's 4.73. Could I go 7 years, 4.750? That's a very solid contract for an 85 overall third line center. 7 years at 4.750. If I went 5 years, I could get him at 4.650, but it's worth it to get 2 more years for an extra 100K. What do you say, Cole Perfetti? So those are 2 big things right there. That's going to be really, really defining in our franchise. If we can get these 2 guys signed up, 90 and 85 overall for 7.3 and $4.75 million respectively. That is huge. Now, what we have to figure out is Giftopoulos and Kovalev. I think... Oh, I also have to look at Devon Shore as well from the Blackhawks. Maybe I trade Kovalev there. Because, to be honest, if I could just get JT... If I could trade Kovalev and JT Miller for, like, Devon Shore and draft picks, that wouldn't be bad. Was he on the Blackhawks? Yeah, he was. Oh, man, my memory is just locked in. Devon Shore, 80 overall, 2-way forward. He's just good for defensive depth, 75 faceoffs. I don't mind getting him for depth at all, and it gives me an excuse to trade away JT Miller, who hasn't really been doing super well, even though I was really excited to have him on this team. Through the 14 games he's played, he has 1 assist and a -7. So wouldn't mind just swapping JT Miller for Devon Shore. I'm not going to add Kovalev because the trade value is already way in my favor. So if I could just trade you JT Miller, and then you give me Devon Shore and a 3rd round pick next season. Not too much to deliberate. I could have squeezed out maybe a 5th, whatever, but I think that's a fair deal. Thank you, Chicago. I get Shore as better depth and a 3rd round pick next season. So now the only thing to really figure out is Pavel Kovalev, like I said. I think I'm going to go ahead and... I don't even know if I want to call him up, because now it's not do I play him over Pavel Kovalev, it's do I play him over Kyle Wood. Kyle Wood in 11 games is a +5. He's a great defensive defenseman. So I think I'm going to ride it out like this, at least for a few more games. We still have 2 weeks till the trade deadline, so I'm not in any rush. But let me just put Pavel Kovalev on the trade block as well, and we'll begin to simulate. And if Quinn Hughes and Cole Perfetti sign those contracts, that would be crazy. So I'm going to put Pavel Kovalev on the trade block. I'm going to fix up the trade block, and then I'm going to fix up the lines. And even, it's true, Michael DiPietro, I should probably trade him, unless I just let him ride out the end of his contract. He doesn't have a ton of trade value, does he? Not a ton. I could just let him ride out his contract, and it's good to have a very capable backup goalie. So I think, yeah, Michael DiPietro can stay. However, Pavel Kovalev, I'm even going to put Giftopoulos in the block, even though I'm likely not going to trade him. I think I'm just going to put him as well as Kovalev. Alright, boys, so Quinn Hughes does have the 0 on the second pair, but going to the special teams here, he keeps the +5 if he plays instead of Junior, and then putting Junior on the second unit instead of Ty Smith changes unit number 2 from a +1 to a +3. Also, by the way, Ezra Pittis is a 91 overall. Did anyone notice that? Because I didn't, just until this very moment. Ezra Pittis, 91, so great job. Going over to 4-man power play and all that, he fits it as well, gives it a +1. Penalty kill, he actually fits the penalty kill if you see the check mark on the line fit on the right, so thank goodness. He also fits the 3-man PK, so that he fits there as well. And we are ready to roll, boys. Let's see how Quinn Hughes does on the Honolulu Huskies, and if him and Cole Perfetti re-sign to those super cheap contracts. Even if they don't, I think I can get them for cheap. So let's just go see the game against the Capitals. Let's go see it right away. They're a very good matchup. Their record is 30. Oh my goodness, Cole Perfetti answers me right away. Thank you, Cole. He's signed on at $4.75 million. So the Capitals are 34-17-5. Let's take them on with the new look Honolulu Huskies, Quinn Hughes, a Norris Trophy champion, 70-plus point defenseman. Thank you, Carolina. Let's see it. First period. Oh my goodness. Duke Silver, Mikko Rantanen. Silver scores twice. He gets a hat trick within the first 14 minutes. 13 minutes and 40 seconds to get a hat trick. Demko is pulled after 3. Point lets in 2. Berggren, I think that's his first goal on the fourth line down there. It's 5-0 after the first period. One of those goals coming on the power play. Second period, 7-0. Ellis Anderson on the power play, and Ty Smith with like his second goal as a Husky. Oh wow, it is 7-0, boys. I am loving the new look Huskies. This is the best squad we've had yet. We got to do something special this year. What a crazy, crazy team this is. 7-0 Huskies. Power play. Duke Silver scores his 4th goal of the night on shot number 39. Let's just call it a day. A 23-save shutout for whoever was in nets. Duke Silver scores 4 goals and 2 assists. Ilya Samsonov makes a 23-save shutout. Ty Smith, a goal and an assist for him. Man, if you didn't score a point tonight, I really question you. Let me guess, Hughes is one of them. No, hold on. Where's Hughes? Hughes, there he is. 2 assists for Quinn Hughes, +2, 20 minutes of ice time. Who didn't score any points tonight? Lindback, Vorobyev, Kennins, Pittis, really. Anthony Genze, whatever. That's okay with me. 8-0 victory for the Huskies. And I met with good news after the game that Quinn Hughes is signing his contract. Go! Oh my goodness, Quinn Hughes. $7.3 million for 90 overall monster. Oh, wow. Get a house on the beachfront, Quinn. Oh, boy, you're going to be here for a while. Thank you, Quinn Hughes. Let's see the contract situation on this team. We have gotten so lucky. Ellis Anderson is cheap enough at 12.7. He could have been a lot more, could have been a bit less. Ezra Pittis is going to cost a lot. That's where it's going to come back to hurt us. But let's say if we go to all expiring here, Kennins, it says we have $3.99 million. So in 2 years, hold on, let me go main roster, because next year Pittis is still on the entry-level deal here. Then the year after that, he's an RFA. Is anyone else out of a contract after that? So Ty Smith maybe is the one to go in a couple years. That'll free up another $4 million. That'll maybe be enough to sign Pittis, hopefully. The year after that, Duke Silver's going to need a contract. That's going to be difficult. Anybody else? Genze, Anthony? Yeah, we'll figure that out as we go. And yeah, Anthony's going to cost a lot eventually. So eventually we'll probably have to trade. I don't know who we'd have to trade. Maybe, I don't even know. I can't even think about it right now. I don't want to think about it. We have the cap, we have the stats, we have the players. The window is now to win. This season, maybe next season, but now is the time to win. This is our window. Let's finish off the season strong. Let's go up to the deadline, see what we're going to do with Kovalev, but let's finish this season strong and go into a dominant playoff run. The Rangers want to give me a first and a third for two, basically swapping thirds. They want to give me Kovalev and a third for a first. I'm not going to do that. I don't really... The Rangers are a good team as well. Rickard Rakell to Washington with a third for 2 prospects. Giftopoulos and a third for 2 firsts. That's interesting. I'm not going to be pushed into that just yet. I'd rather trade Kovalev than Giftopoulos, I think. 3-2 win against the Predators, like we saw there. 6-3 win against the Flames. 5-1 win against the Oilers. Can we hit Richie and Balcers for... Okay. Can we hit 50 wins before 10 regulation losses? Strome and Ratcliffe for a first. Okay. No, we lost 4-3. Athanasiou and a third, blah, blah, blah. Alvin's injured with a sprained ankle, so we hit 10 regulation losses before 50. Not anything to really cry about, so that's okay. Would have been fun to say it, but I'm not complaining in the slightest. We're 49-10-3. I'm sure we'll get win number 50 tonight. So slow to simulate because 100 different trades are coming through. I'm just gonna keep talking. 6-3 loss, of course. Kavanagh and Hetherington for a first and a second. Okay. First, blah, blah, blah. Bunch of trades. Okay, so we're 49-11-3. We've lost back-to-back games for like the first time all season. Duke Silver's up to 77 points in 60 games. And Quinn Hughes, since coming to this team, has scored 6 points in 6 games, none on the power play. He's a +7 with 6 points in 6 games. That's what we like to see. Ty Smith is definitely going to be benefiting from that as well, having an offensive partner, as he's more of an offensive two-way defenseman. boy, loving it. So also need to check, what is Kyle Wood looking like? Because if I trade Pavel Kovalev, it's to bring up Giftopoulos. But Kyle Wood is a plus 11 in 17 games. There's no reason to change that. So maybe I guess I'll trade Pavel Kovalev, but then who's my depth defense? Nobody. So, okay, you know what? Decision has been made. Pavel Kovalev is staying on this team, and if he leaves, which is likely, it will be at the draft. Because as much as I want to call up Giftopoulos, Kyle Wood has forced his way onto this team, and I cannot look the other way just because of overall. If you simulate well, you simulate well. That's it. So we're going to go through the trade deadline, and we're going to go see the Winnipeg Jets, who have a good winning record. 2 firsts for Giftopoulos? Nah. It's not really what I want to do right now. If I put him on the blocks, I was looking for something twisted, like a Quinn Hughes type of trade, but no trade like that forthcoming. 5-4 win against Vegas, 4-1 win against Dallas, 6-4 win against the Coyotes. And now we take on the Jets, who have a record of 52, 11, and 3. Almost unbelievable. With a whole month left to go. We've definitely already clinched the playoffs, and that's not a question. First period here, 7 goals. Let's look at these. Eli Tolvanen scores twice. Mikko Rantanen, Damian Anthony, and Mats Lindback. John Klingberg, the former captain of the Huskies, throws in 1. Zykov as well, but boy, we run Binnington as another former Husky out of the net as Parrick comes in. We're up 5-2 after the first period. Second period, it just keeps coming. Cole Perfetti and Ellis Anderson. Shorthanded from Ellis Anderson. Power play from Perfetti. John Klingberg scores his second of the night, and Robertson gets a power play goal. Shots are tied at 23. There have been 11 goals through 46 shots. Duke Silver adds another power play goal. We're up by 4 with an 8-4 lead, doubling the Winnipeg Jets shots. Tough night for the goalies in Winnipeg. Michael DiPietro playing strong enough, only let in 4 goals on 31 shots thus far. And that's going to be it with an 8-5 victory. John Klingberg gets the hat trick against his old team. You know what? Congrats. You lost 8-5, but you scored a hat trick. So 3 goals and an assist for him, but a goal and 2 assists for Perfetti, a goal and 2 assists for Anderson. I will take that W any day of the week. As we continue simulating on, there's not much left to see. We are dominant, and that is an understatement. So if there's a really good team, I could go see them. Calgary, not really. It's all these divisional matchups, and we destroy our division. Maybe the Panthers would be like the last game that I go see before the final game of the season. So let's go another week and a half and see them. We've already clinched the conference with a month to go. 4-3 overtime loss to the Canadiens, 2-1 win to the Kings. We got shut out 3-0 against the Blues. That's actually very surprising. But then we bounced back with 6-2 and 7-1 wins against the Coyotes and Stars respectively. We're 56-12-4, taking on the 42-24-4, I think, Florida Panthers. First period, 2-1 Huskies. Duke Silver scores twice, a goal for Vinny Trocheck. Second period, oh wow, Skylar Pelech. Oh no, just 1 for him, but Duke Silver 1, Skylar Pelech 2, Ellis Anderson 3, Ezra Pittis 4, and Cole Perfetti 5. 5 goals in the second period. 7-1 Huskies. Shots 34-10. It's just the goals are just coming like waterfalls right now, boys. I want to see what our goals for per game is at right now. Let's just get out of here. 7-1 victory for the Honolulu Huskies. Close to tripling the shots of the Panthers. 3 goals and an assist for Silver, another hat trick for him. A goal and 4 assists for Skylar Pelech, and 3 assists for Eli Tolvanen, the sniper turned playmaker. Another big night. Mikko Rantanen sore shoulder, so we'll swap him out and we'll get, is it Gale Redden who's going to come in? Or no, Shore's going to come in. Yeah, so let me fix that. Alright, that's all fixed up. He shouldn't be out for long, so we'll just simulate until he comes back. But then the only other game that we're going to go watch this season will be the last game of the year. Just end it off with a big smile. Michael DiPietro injured knee. That's rare. That's the first injury to a goalie I've seen in years. So let me go ahead and I'll call up Sweeney here. Lee Sweeney, a former 4th round pick. He's going to make his NHL debut. Well, if he plays, but he'll be backing up Ilya Samsonov for a little bit. So a 3-1 loss to the Blackhawks. DiPietro's back. We'll keep him out for a bit more. 3-2 win. Injured arm for Samsonov. What's going on? Bunch of random injuries here. So Sweeney will stay and DiPietro will become our starter. Did Sweeney play at all? He did. Oh boy, 730 save percentage. Good job, Bello. It's still a playable injury, so hopefully he doesn't get re-injured. 8-7 shootout loss. What? That's crazy. Okay, now the injuries are just flowing. I can't even keep track of our record. Okay, then multiple players are available. Let's go back in again. But none of them are actually available because they're still playable injuries. So let's just has returned. Okay, back to the roster moves. Sweeney can go back down. DiPietro can start next game, hopefully, unless they play him on purpose and make him get re-injured. Go ahead and put him in there, and Sweeney can go back to start in San Diego. Great, and then we win 9-2 against the Oilers. Perfect. So let's go over the game against the Flames, and then we'll get Mikko Rantanen back in, I think. Actually, not yet, but let's just recap here. 3-1 loss against the Hawks, 3-2 overtime win against the Sharks, 6-3 loss to the Kings somehow, 8-7 overtime loss to the Canucks, 6-1 win, then a 9-2 win, so we bounced back from that. We are 60, 14, and 5 with 3 games left in this season. Mikko Rantanen is not back yet, so we'll keep on simulating. Tiny Lee, injured knee, great job. That's like the 4th time my 4th line right winger gets injured. It's always Gunler and Lee who get injured. Calgary Flames, what can we do against them? 2-1 win. LA Kings, Tiny Lee available, too bad. LA Kings, we beat them 3-2, great. So Mikko Rantanen still not back yet. I'll just go ahead and keep him out. The injury report here tells me that he's out and oh no, he came back, that's true. But I guess so his playable injury must be done, so I can get him back in the lineup. Devon Shore, he played 3rd line right wing, and he got 4 points, -2 in 8 games. Not bad. Alright, so all is well now. All the scratches are back in where they're supposed to be. Let's finish off this season strong. In game number 82, we're 62, 14, and 5, looking for win number 63. I think we're already at a franchise record, taking on the 38, 36, and 6 San Jose Sharks, who are likely playing for the playoffs here to get into a wildcard spot, so let's do it. First period, 1-1 game, Chabot and Anthony. How does it feel? Is San Jose not having a great record? Must be tough. Second period, why did I say anything? Fortier, DeBrusque, and Kopaka score on Samsonov. Welcome back. 4 goals on 13 shots against him. We're down by 3 here in the 3rd period. Why can we never beat the Sharks? Come on. Sogard in nets, random 79 overall goalie. Power play, nothing. 1 goal on 32 shots we have. Come on. Alright, that's it. 4-1 loss to end off the season. Whatever, but still, it doesn't make sense how he makes 34 saves. But I guess the boys just weren't too interested tonight. We end off the year with a record of 62, 15, and 5. A new franchise record here in Honolulu. Let's see how this season finished off. For the 3rd straight season, we are President's Trophy winners. We had a power play percentage of 31.4. Very happy to see that. Best in the NHL, and our penalty kill of 82.1 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th best in the league. I will definitely take that. Above 80% is pretty much all you can hope for when the players are this good. Goals for per game, we led the NHL with 3.85 goals for per game, and we were the best defensive team, only letting in 2.45 per game. So you can't really ask for anything better than that. Let's get into the points. Duke Silver in 79 games scored 102 points with 53 goals. That is the 3rd best season of his career, and much better than last year after getting injured. He was a point per game, but he got injured for half the year. This year in 79 games, he puts up 102 points. Skylar Pelech, 98 points for him in his 5th season, a career best by 27 points. In his 1, 2, 3, 4, his 5th season here, he has 330 points in 405 games. Very happy to see a great season from Pelech. Ellis Anderson was over a point per game once again, putting up 83 points in 82 games. Another great season from our rock on defense. Eli Tolvanen was over a point per game. Trevor Wong was exactly a point per game, getting 82 in 82, a career high for him as well. Great stuff from Trevor Wong, very proud of him. Ezra Pittis scored 51 goals in his 2nd season. What a sophomore year for Ezra. 81 points in 82 games with 51 goals, leading second in team behind Duke Silver, but still nothing to sneeze at. 14 power play goals for him. Cole Perfetti down on the 3rd line. Let's go. Cole Perfetti scores 63 points. I almost gave up on him, but look at this increase. 24, then down to 18, then 36, 42, 55, 63. He just keeps getting better. Now we have him signed up long term. This year making 1.2 was crazy. Mikko Rantanen missed out on 8 games, but he still scored 63 points. Our captain, Quinn Hughes. What did Quinn Hughes do? Let's see it. Oh boy, 26 points, a plus 25 in 25 games. I am just mind blown. I have no words. Quinn Hughes, I love you. I love you, Quinn. 26 points, a plus 25 in 25 games. Only 3 of those coming on the power play as well. What an absolute tank. He must have helped out Ty Smith as well. Ty Smith ended up plus 46. What? Lindback 30 points. Damian Anthony in his rookie season scored 29 points. Not bad. Sebastian Genze, as a sniper, scored only 6 goals here in his 3rd full season, I think. No, 2nd full season. Career high, though. Ty Smith, 23. Berggren, like we said, what did he do down on that 4th line since coming here? In 51 games, he scored 11 points and was a plus 5. I just absolutely love that. Kennan, 16 and 79. And Vorobyev, what did you do since coming here? He scored 7 points, plus 2 in 51 games. That's all you can ask for a guy who plays 8 minutes a night. Where's Kyle Wood? There he is. In 36 games, he scored only 3 points, but a plus 11. Junior was plus 6 as well. He really helped out that bottom pair. Kyle Wood, I love you, I love you. Goalies now. Ilya Samsonov went 48, 11, and 3 with 6 shutouts, a .914 save percentage, 2.3 goals against average. I think those are Vezina numbers right there from Ilya Samsonov. DiPietro played very well as well, 15, 5, and 1 with a shutout. Very good backup. That should be Jennings caliber stuff from those 2 goalies. Samsonov led the NHL in wins, and if you go to let's say minimum 40 games played here, and we'll check save percentage and goals against average. Save percentage, minimum 40 games. He was 2nd best, right behind Thatcher Demko. Much better goals against average, though. And his goals against average was the best. So you know what? I think it's in the bag for Ilya Samsonov this year. Finally, for once, a Vezina trophy. Sandro Tommy, what did he do in the end? Yeah, good thing we didn't get him, I don't think. Sub 900 save percentage. Who else was up here? Connor Hellebuck at the age of 34. This guy Garrett Walters, 81 overall, is like my biggest challenger for the Vezina trophy. Crazy stuff, man. Eddie Fontaine had a decent year. Let's look at all scoring in the NHL. The Art Ross this year goes to Keenan Johnson with 108 points, 64 goals for the Canadiens' first-line center. Beautifully done from the two-way forward. Look at those defensive stats. 99 everything. That's crazy. What growth from these guys. I don't control how good they grow, man. It's just crazy. And now all of them are 27 years old, so all their potential, no longer medium or high franchise. They're all exact franchise. Mikey Bruno scored 72 goals, but it was Massimiliano Bio with 73 who won his first Rocket Richard in like maybe 4 or 5 seasons. He had been overshadowed by Bruno, Cherry, and Johnson, and even Klingenberg, who are all up here. Rory Cherry, first year over in Nashville, scored 104 points. Duke Silver, 102. Elias Pettersson, 100 points. Skylar Pelech, 98. Klingenberg, 97. Barkov scored 95. McDavid, Johnny Beats, all up here. Clayton Keller, Nikita Kucherov. How old is Kucherov? 34 years old, still putting up 85-point seasons. Trevor Wong is there. Ezra Pittis. We definitely have the majority of scorers. Defense, it was Ellis Anderson, but right behind him, for the first time in a while, big challenger, Jinkyo Chong, put up 81 points and 39 goals, a career high for Jinkyo Chong, the pride and joy of South Korea. There he is, on an expiring deal as well, wants to get paid big time. Alessandro Girante put up a career high, 94 overall, 68 points for him as well. Dante Fabro, 67 points. Cale Makar, 65. Bit of a down year for him. D'Angelo Vickers, still a negative 11. He can never get out of the negatives. He's a negative 134 in his career, even though he puts up 50, 60, 70 points a season. Sheesh. And Quinn Hughes, there he is. But next year I expect huge things from Quinn Hughes. If he kept up that pace with us, 26 and 25, he would be in the 70s for sure. Man, oh man. And last thing to check here, rookie skaters. Who's going to win the Calder? Probably Sheldon Langkow. 87 overall he's up to, 56 points for him. Any big rookie goalies? No, just Tucker Tynan, and he didn't have anything crazy. Look at these power play stats as well. Trevor Wong, 33 power play points, and he had only 2 power play goals, so 31 power play assists. A pure playmaker. What else do we want to check out here? We want to see Oscar Yanson stats. What did Oscar Yanson do? Patrick Kane put up 78 points this year. That would have been a good acquisition if we needed anybody. But Oliu Levy, 27. Oscar Yanson, here he is. Oscar Yanson, he's up to an 86 overall. He scored 11 points and was a +9 in 26 games. So I'm sure that he's going to be a monster. I really wish him all the best. And I know he'll do well in Carolina. He'll be a cornerstone over there. But just wasn't really... it was just too good to pass up, to not get Quinn Hughes, and Giftopoulos can grow a bit more on the third pair instead of having to bury Oscar Yanson down there instead. Also, Martin Ferk ended up with 47 points in 80 games. JT Miller ended up playing 6 games, got 0 points. Anybody else want to check out? Maybe let's just see Morgan Rielly to end it off here. Morgan Rielly, he got 46 points, and Max Domi got 50 points. Tough. LA is really where people go to die, man. Jakub Vrana, Andre Kesa, all former players of ours. I don't know how LA is so bad. They've traded us, and how come they always get good picks and they trade them away? We traded them Morgan Rielly for Ezra Pittis, pretty much. And we traded them Max Domi for Damian Anthony, and they're still a terrible team. So what a year in the NHL, man. What a year for us with the points. Our coaches seem to work out. Our lines seem to work out. The pluses, the chemistry, everything. It was a good year in Honolulu. And now, as we move into the year number 9 playoffs, we are going to start off our journey up against the Calgary Flames. We've seen them before. Let's do it. The San Jose Sharks are not in the playoffs this year. Thank goodness. We don't even need to get through them. Calgary Flames, they went 40, 36, and 6. We've seen them before. Probably Leon Draisaitl still there with Tarasenko and everybody. If we go to the Flames lines here, you see that they have Draisaitl, Tarasenko, Bratt. Yeah, still that same first line. Donato, Borgstrom, Garland. Bottom 6, not as good, but still pretty solid. And on defense, Sanheim, Hayek, Lambos. Yeah, we've made it through them before. Last season, we beat them in... we swept them, didn't we, last season? I think we swept them in 4 games, or maybe it was 5. It was 5 max, but I think we swept them last season, pretty sure. And in nets, hopefully it's not Peter Mrazek. No, it's not. Oh, but it's better. It's Ricardo McDonough. 86 overall, backed up by 85 Igor Shesterkin. So they have great goaltending in Calgary. And he scratches Thomas Tatar at the age of 37. 82 overall. He's injured, so he'll probably come back into the third line when he's back. So they're a good team, Calgary. Can't underestimate them too much. But man, what an end to the season here, boys. So that's going to be it. A bit of a shorter episode. In the last episode, I said it would be a shorter one, but it ended up being almost an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one off a little bit early. I'm going to have a channel update video up on the channel later today as well, which will only be a few minutes long. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you like the NHL, the FIFA, and all the gaming content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Putting out daily content here on the channel. I'm hoping that you are all enjoying it. Please leave a comment if you have any suggestions for the series. I try my best to always incorporate anything that you guys say. It means a lot to have all of you interact. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Let's go Huskies, and I will see you in the playoffs.